In this video, I'm gonna tell you what are the most important spare parts that you have to take with you on a long motorcycle trip. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. As you know, my favorite phrase is the weight always matters, and because of that, on a long motorcycle trip you have to be very careful with the spare parts and take only what you really need, because what you really need and what you might need are two completely different things, and you have to be very strict, otherwise you're gonna finish with very heavy luggage. Don't fill your bags with things that you probably never need or you don't know any idea how to use it just because someone else have it in his luggage. Your bags and your spare parts need to be customized exactly for your motorcycle and your type of trips. For example, if the trip is more than 20,000 kilometers long, the spare parts will be completely different than the trip that you're gonna make in your own country around 5,000 kilometers long. That's why everything needs to be customized exactly for the trip that you're going now. Sometimes people criticize me that I talk a lot instead of going straight to the point and show you my spare parts, luggage, everything that I've got. But what is the point to have exactly the same set as me if you have completely different type of motorcycle and different type of trips? That's why I said your spare parts need to be customized exactly for your trip and your type of activities. Of course, the basics are the same, and that's why it's so important to understand everything from the beginning. Now I'm gonna list everything, I'm gonna show you what I have with me, but in your set, in your spare parts, you have to touch here and there and customize it exactly for your type of trips. Spare clutch and front brake levers. Even if you have a handguards like I do at the moment, take a spares with you. They might be very old, not in good condition, but still workable. So in the case you drop the motorcycle and break it, you will have a spare to continue your trip. You can see that in my situation, I even cut the ends, the balls on my clutch and brake lever, and it is almost impossible to damage it even if I drop the bike, but even so I've got spares with me. You need a spare voltage regulator. On this Tenere, it is located here under this plastic, and I highly recommend to have one with you. Also, a voltmeter, like the one that I've got on my old Tenere, I plan to install the same on my new Tenere, because this voltmeter might help you to find the problem before it becomes too late and eventually fix it. Chain link or clips or whatever they name it, take at least one or two with you. They are very small and light. Even if your chain is riveted like mine without any links, I will still advise to have it one or two with you. They weigh nothing, cost nothing, but they might prevent a lot of problems. For example, on the way back from Morocco, my chain was compromised and one of the segments just stuck like a letter L. And every time when it was going over the sprocket, it was very noisy, like struck, and almost destroyed my rear sprocket. So somewhere around Spain, I stopped and found a small garage and cut the compromised chain, use the link and get back home. So chain links always. Definitely spare clutch cable. I always tied my spare clutch cable next to the existing one, like now. But if you prefer, you can have it in your luggage. I always do it this way because in the case I cut the clutch, I'll be able to fit the spare very quickly for just 10 minutes and continue riding. But if it's happening in the middle of the night or it's cold, most of the times you have to remove the petrol tank. That's why I always got it installed, pre-installed on the bike in the case I need it. Spark plug or plugs if you have more than one cylinder. Even if you change them before the trip, I will still advise to have a spares with you, because you never know, you might burn the plug or it might get defect, but it is definitely worth it, and they usually cost almost nothing compared to the rest of the costs and weight nothing, so get the spares with you. Spare fuses to all ampere that you've got on the motorcycle, a few meters of cables in the case you have an electric problem, a little bit of this insulating hoses with lighter, of course insulating tape, and a small tester like this might help you to find some electric problems and of course fix it as quick as possible. Everything that I showed you already, plus a small container with soapy water and patches for my tires, even that I've got tubes, stayed in this small plastic like a container with both sides, that it goes to my back. Spare brake pads front and rear. Even if you change them before the trip, I will advise to have a spares with you. My rear, for example, rear brakes finish around 10,000 kilometers. So on my next trip, I'm gonna have 2 extra spares with me and 1 on the bike, 3 altogether, just to make sure that I'm gonna have the spares with me when I need it. It will be the same for the front, but only 1 set, because the front usually lasts like 30,000 kilometers. But always take a spares with you, even that you've changed it before the trip. Definitely tubes for both wheels. This is only 18 for the rear, but I'm gonna buy the front very soon. And here I also got a list of the things that I have to buy in the next few days to be ready to have it. But definitely 2 tubes you will need before you take off. Also bolts and nuts of some of the most popular numbers that you have on the bike, because you never know when you're going to need it. It has happened many times with me, and I hope it will never happen with you, but it is better to have it than the other way around. And of course, zip ties and duct tape. Take as many you like, big, small, any kind of sizes. Duct tape, instead of having this big roll, what I usually do, I roll a small piece on my pencil, or I have one red marker that I used to draw on my maps. But you can make something like this, it will be lighter and very, very useful. A few more things might be necessary to have, but it depends on the motorcycle and the type of the trips that you plan to travel, but I hope that you get the idea. All of this should be able to fit in a small bag like this, no more than 5 kilograms. And if you don't have enough space in your luggage, I will advise just make it. You can travel without your cooking stove and camping chair, but it will be very, very difficult to fix a problem if you don't have the right spare parts, unless you prefer to wait around the camping fire until you get them. Listen, this is my neighbor working the garden with big tractor, and it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now it's 12 and already interrupt my video many times, but it is what it is. I have to continue like this because the weather outside is fantastic today. We've got like 16, 17 degrees, and I cannot wait to go and ride. Anyway, all of these spare parts will be pointless if you don't have the right tools to fit them. But don't worry about it. In the next episode number 3, I'm gonna tell you everything about the tools, how to organize a custom set exactly for your motorcycle, and some ideas where to keep them. So this might be a good reason for you to subscribe. Press like or dislike, whatever the video deserves. And don't forget that every Sunday I have a live stream for channel members and patrons. But if you don't want to become member or patron, you can watch the live streams on my second channel, Motorcycle Adventures Live. All the details will be in the description down below. Keep riding and see you next time. Ciao.